As much as I laugh because comment sections be 10 out of 10, comment sections can also be not so great. Prior to this weekend, I had never heard of Sarah or Andrew, the couple married to each other. But all weekend, I saw clips from the podcast they chose to have where it just seems like she's telling us everything that's wrong with her husband. He's unemployed, she's making money, she's pregnant, she wants a provider. She's saying all of this next to said husband. When they got married, the first night they got married, he played games up until the early hours of the morning. And he was playing these games in the bedroom. She couldn't sleep. She had to go to the living room and slept. He didn't realize she had left until the next morning when he walked out. You know your wife left the room. He couldn't afford a ring, so he asked his parents for their ring because they were divorced or whatever. He didn't get it resized. He didn't even get the ring to look like what she liked. She had to get it custom herself. And like, you've told us all this stuff. Now, all of a sudden, her stuff pops up on my timeline. I look in the comments, and it's everybody and their mama telling her to drop her man. Now, granted, I will never understand why people would be so quick to tell us all the bad stuff about their business. But that's neither here or there. But now, every time I've seen a clip,
and that so even with like the wedding ring, I wasn't making much money. I'm not someone who was financially super stable, but I did want it to be really meaningful. And what I did was I asked my mom if I could use her wedding ring because my parents are divorced. They had a painful ending to their marriage, and that's always kind of been something that has been a bit of a gray cloud over me. And but when I thought of Sarah, it gave me so much hope for what marriage could look like. And it almost felt like a moment of redeeming a broken marriage. And when I asked my mom to use her ring, she was so moved. She was in tears. And it felt like a sacred thing. She'd been saving it all these years, never wearing it, never letting it go either, though. And it just happened to be this perfect, sweet thing where I could redeem some of our broken past and pain that we've experienced and tell her I want to build something beautiful and new, right? And so that's what we did. And luckily, my mom has a very simple, timeless style of ring.
Yeah, she's a very classy, chic lady.
Yeah.
It's so timeless. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prong.
Is this? I thought it was 5 prong.
Yeah, 6.
Oh, okay.
It's very classy.
Yeah, 6 prong.
6 prong. I think, yeah, literally just had to get it resized.
Yeah.
But then the band, I got it rebuilt just because the style of the band wasn't what I was going for.
Yeah. It was kind of old, bigger, kind of
It was bigger,
chunky.
yeah, chunky.
Yeah, so then she took the wedding band and got it redone
and
to
I had
match
a
her.
sweet Vietnamese man at the Valley Fair stall who's not there anymore.
Yeah, sadly.
Make it for me. I loved it. We texted back and forth.
When a man loves you when he doesn't like you. When a man loves you when he hates you.
I'm like trying to eat my breakfast in peace, right? But then that Andrew husband guy comes up on my For You page and he goes like, I don't need a prestigious job. I don't need to eat pills or sleep with a person, you know? I don't need any of that. All I need is Jesus. And I'm like, no, you need a job, Andrew. Go and get a job, bro. Jesus is not gonna give you money. Jesus is not gonna help you live, bro. The one that's helping you live right now is your wife.
Listen, if you are not tapped into Korean TikTok, but have been seeing all of those viral clips of influencer Sarah Kim talking about all the things she doesn't like about her husband while sitting next to said husband who's just giggling at her misery, well, I have gone down the rabbit hole of that lore, so you don't have to. Now, for some context, Sarah Kim has over 2.7 million TikTok followers. I believe she first went viral for sharing videos of her mom making kimchi, and then went viral again when she lost her job and shared that experience, and that really pushed her social media platform forward, and she's very popular within the Korean TikTok community. Her and her husband Andrew, who is 7 or 8 years older than her and a minister, have been married for over 4 years, and for some reason, clips from their podcast.
I chose her because she's the perfect one, but she's the one, she's my chosen one because she's mine. And I don't need her to be the best. You know, it's like people in their favorite car or their like
For
teddy
their
bear.
pets.
Yeah, their pet. Like, there's no perfect pet out there. But if you have a dog, you know what it means. Like, you're mine, right? There's no other dog I would rather have. I don't need you to be perfect.
My 5 to 9 before my 9 to 5.
Even in this clip, he's fucking broke hugging his own wife. Like, look at that hug. That's a fucking broke guy hugging his girlfriend. You know when a girlfriend pays for her boyfriend? That's exactly the same hug that he's doing, man. It's crazy. It's funny.
Mr. Kim, I would really like to have a conversation with you about something important in private about your daughter. I kind of thought that I was making it clear what I'm going to ask him about, but he had no clue. And so he was just smiling. He's like, yeah, so what's up? And I want to ask for his blessing to marry her, to propose to her. He was smiling, but the life went out of his eyes.
Yeah.
The blood drained from his face. He froze. Like, he didn't know what to say. He was shocked and maybe even a little offended. I don't know. He was upset.
The reason why Sarah's dad is upset is because he knows how much of a deadbeat you are. Like, bro, you're not providing any kind of money. You're not doing anything in the house. And I'm pretty sure he knows that his daughter, is not happy with him. Like, of course he's gonna be mad. Of course, if I was a fucking father, and then my daughter, brings a guy, and the guy says he wants to marry my daughter and doesn't do anything.
I don't let my dad pay for meals anymore whenever we're all eating together. I can tell slowly my dad's getting a little upset with me because at the end of the day, I'm his daughter. It brings him joy to be able to pay for meals. The main reason why I don't let him pay is because he's paid for my whole life. He's paid for all 4 years of a private university. He's a sole provider of our entire family financially. I'm 18 weeks pregnant today. Crazy. But I texted my mom if it's okay to stop by for lunch. And here's everything she prepared. I already started eating, sorry, but soft tofu soup. These 2 little chuns, and these are sweet potato chuns. And then this is stir-fried dried shrimp and nuts, Mama's specialty kimchi, and parallel leaf kimchi. I can show you my little healthy pregnancy mukbang. So I don't have any crazy cravings, and I truly believe that it's because, sorry, one sec, cheers. That was broth, so thick. Because
she has now sadly responded. Sarah works a 9-to-5 corporate job, has over 3 million followers, where she commutes over 2 hours a day. She's pregnant. Meanwhile, her allegedly unemployed husband, who plays video games, doesn't cook or clean, doesn't seem to see an issue with this. So for context, this is Sarah Kim, and Sarah posts about her job and family, these massive kimchi videos, and her parents who clearly love her so much. And she seems like a super happy person. But this is where it gets a little more crazier. This is Sarah's baby daddy, and people are really angry with him. While Sarah has 2 full-time jobs and is pregnant, her husband allegedly left his job months ago, seemingly has not gotten a new job, and mentioned that he didn't bring in money for like 2 whole years. For the engagement ring he gave to her, it was his divorced mom's old ring. He allegedly just gave it to her without checking her size or style preference, that she allegedly had to get it redone herself. He also allegedly missed her ultrasound. Although he says he's not financially stable, he allegedly bought a gaming PC right before their wedding. Also, he doesn't seem to cook or clean, but even more worser, she has an extremely loving dad who treats her like a princess. And his reaction to the pregnancy announcement says everything. They posted this podcast over a month ago, and Sarah's response since then has been to post like nothing's wrong. This is all alleged. Does she deserve better?
been seeing TikToks where women are saying it should be illegal to work in your first trimester. And I agree. I don't even know how I'm filming right now. Wish me luck. And you'll be seeing this in the future.
Here's my crybaby. Hi, my crybaby. We did so much exams.
Do you feel violated?
No, if it was a man, yes.
A little
Crazy, right? I couldn't get really emotional there because I was by myself and freaking out.
You're doing so good.
I know, and it's healthy. Heartbeat's good.
Love you so much.
2 centimeters. Yeah, it's like a little lima bean.
Well, it's upside down. Sorry, I wasn't here to see you. When's the next appointment? You already scheduled it?
Yeah, it's in probably 3 weeks. I didn't schedule it yet. They're gonna call me.
Okay, gotta make sure we can both be there, okay? Anything to know? Anything she say? Prenatals? This is my baby. My baby.
Oh my gosh.
My baby.
Oh, what a miracle.
Oh, it's crazy.
This is our baby at 9 weeks. Oh no. And everything went well. And I get to tell my parents on Saturday, so 2 days from now. Until our next update. Bye-bye.
I feel like the fact that I've never been in a relationship before, though, kind of proves that, there's no red flags about me. There's no toxicity about me.
If I may, I feel like the fact that you haven't been in a relationship is a red flag. You're 22, my guy. There must be something wrong. I don't know.
So you're telling me, I've been seeing videos all over about Andrew and Sarah Kim, that on my FYP page, on their podcast, basically how the relationship, the status of the relationship, the mental and physical toll that the relationship is having on her because she's working a 9 to 5, she's doing influencer jobs, marketing, plus being pregnant twice, and she's showcasing all her feelings on the podcast. He is right next to her on the podcast, just listening, being all dumb, and doesn't know what to say because he literally doesn't know what to say because he is not comprehending the situation that he put her in. I definitely feel for her, but also she was okay with the situation beforehand. She knew how she was. She's accepting of it. She is wanting him to change, but people don't change that drastically this late into the relationship. She has somehow accepted it. She's venting out her frustrations, making it, probably hoping that he would change, but he's not going to change. This is how he is. Probably signs were there in the beginning that she ignored, and now throughout the years, it's just manifested into something larger and larger. He's not going to change. She has to accept that now or do the steps to get rid of him, to break it off with him. If not, she just has to accept it because she did in the beginning. They have kids now, a family, a whole life. She can break away from that if she wants, but it's either yes or no. She has to, or you kind of stop complaining if you're not going to want to change it. Those are just my thoughts about it. Do I feel bad for her? I do, but she's also has let this been a thing in the relationship. She's been accepting of it. That's why they've been together for, so long. You'd be surprised what people would put up with in relationships, and then years down the line, they are seeing their true colors.
You know when they say not everyone should start a podcast? This is one of those times. The internet is going crazy over this whole Sarah, Kim, and Andrew situation where everyone finds out he's actually not a green flag. And
to that one couple that have been showing up on my FYP for the past 2 days, Sarah and Andrew, who did a podcast about their life, and this guy is unemployed. Stop. I don't want to see any more posts. I don't want to see Another post saying like,
I just watched Sarah Kim's pregnancy announcement, and her dad's reaction to the pregnancy is even more worser than I thought. So for context, yesterday Sarah Kim and her husband's podcast clip went viral, where she not only talks about how she has 2 full-time jobs, commutes over 2 hours to work a day, all the while being pregnant. Meanwhile, her allegedly unemployed husband seemingly just hangs out, doesn't know how to cook or clean, allegedly missed his wife's ultrasound, and Sarah's dad seems to be the most nicest, lovingest father I have ever seen, because his reaction to their pregnancy announcement is insane. This is where it gets even more crazy. On their podcast, Sarah's husband Andrew said that when he asked Sarah's dad to marry her, that her dad smiled but the life went out of his eyes, and that he had nothing to say. And he even said the dad said, "I'll think about it." But this is where it gets even more worser. Sarah posted the pregnancy announcement video where her parents were very surprised to find out they'd be grandparents. And in the video, Sarah mentioned how her dad once again froze up, and even though her mom was happy, and he is very surprised throughout the whole video, but when he says "Congrats, Andrew," you really hear something in his voice. And it does not seem like Sarah's dad plays around. Sarah cleared it up by saying this is all alleged. Do you think her dad seems happy?
Where do we start? Where do we start? I'm going to talk about the Korean couple that's all over your FYP right now. First of all, Korean Christians are like the absolute worst people. 2, dude, that guy. So I'm just going to preface, we don't know like the full details of their story. And I'm only going to judge things by what I've seen. I haven't seen a lot, but what I've seen is, in my eyes, the husband, he has to do more. Like I don't know if they have an agreement where he can't find a good job, so he doesn't want to work a menial job, and so his wife is cool with that, but he needs to if he doesn't know how to cook, dude, learn how to cook. Clean up the house. He needs to step up and help with the house. 3rd, she should have listened to her dad. Her dad's intuition is right. Man, just looking back at because she used to show up on my FYP, not as much anymore, but now she does because of the whole controversy. But looking back at whenever you see her dad's reaction, it's just like, dang. He kind of knew from the start, from the get-go. 3rd, they're not communicating. When she I saw a TikTok a TikTok clip of their podcast, and she was saying when he first bought a gaming PC, he was playing till the morning, and she was saying her rage was building. The minute she was getting a little pissed off, she should have told him, but she just kept it in and didn't tell him. Obviously, he's not going to know what's wrong. And the last thing is I'm gonna play devil's advocate, because we don't know the whole story, right? But when you see other videos of them, and it looks like, okay. Let's rewind it. Let's take it back a little bit. He's doing a sermon, and he's talking about how his wife was trying to record him speaking Korean because she found it hilarious. That is kind of messed up if you really think about it. And I'm going to add also another observation where their videos of both of them, and she's recording and creating content, and you could see him in the background or in the side, giving a side eye or a stink face. Maybe he doesn't like being filmed. Maybe he doesn't want to be part of the content. I don't know if they made that communication with each other, if it's okay to film each other, but the way I observe it is he doesn't want to get filmed. And so when he's trying to speak Korean and she's running around with her phone without asking permission, this just playing devil's advocate. But also, he needs to step up. He needs to do something, dude. Unless they came to an agreement that
the biggest de-influencers against marriage are these couples with a podcast. It's these married couples. Here I am, a patron of business that's not mine, and I learn about the Sarah Kim woman, and I'm like, what do you mean you're pregnant, working a 9 to 5? You have to commute a couple hours to get to your job, and your husband doesn't work, and he doesn't even make like the home, like cook, clean, etc., etc. He's at home playing his PS5. What do you mean you bought your own engagement ring? And he bought a PS5, which I don't even know how much that cost. I'm assuming like $500. I don't know. But like, why is it these couples with a podcast, the trials and tribulations they associate with marriage being hard are like trenches? Like insane. Like it's honestly like, if this is what everyone has to look up to, let me just go ahead and get another cat, because I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. It just, you're making marriage seem like a humiliation ritual, and I really don't understand it. And I don't know if people get on here, like when women are in the podcast and they're talking about things that their husband does or doesn't do that's like crazy like that. I don't know if people think that like the internet is going to influence their husband to do that stuff. Never seen any case like that. Or if they are so, I hate to say delusional, but that's really what this is at that point.
He had no idea what I was about to ask.
Really though?
Yeah,
Like, you
I
came
think
super early and asked to walk with him.
he was definitely blindsided. I thought that it was pretty clear. You know, like, Mr. Kim, I would really like to have a conversation with you about something important in private about your daughter. I kind of thought that I was making it clear what I'm going to ask him about,
Right.
but he had no clue. And so he was just smiling. He's like, yeah, so what's up? And I said, I gave a little speech, right? Basically, I was telling him how I'm so committed to his daughter and I'm so thankful for who he's raised her to be. And I want to ask for his blessing to marry her, to propose to her. He was smiling, but the life went out of his eyes. The blood drained from his face. He froze. He froze, and he was like, he didn't know what to say. He was shocked and maybe even a little offended. I don't know. He was upset, feeling a lot of things.
Man, I feel for my dad.
Yeah, you know, but I thought I made it pretty clear he can prepare for it. He might have something to say. He had nothing to say. He was just like, okay. All right, well, I'll think about it.